Thank you for joining Moderna's webinar on What's New with Devotech iDas. My name is Salome Fourie, and I'm the Civil Infrastructure Accounts Manager. Presenting today will be Anu Himan. Anu is one of our applications engineer and part of the Moderna infrastructure team. Please direct all your questions to the Q&A box. All questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. This webinar will be recorded and will be emailed through to you shortly after the webinar. If you have missed out on any of our previous webinars, you're welcome to visit our Moderna YouTube channel. And for any other queries, you're welcome to email me or contact me. My details will be in the chat box. Andre, over to you.
Thank you, Salome, and good day, everyone. Once again, welcome to Moderna's Devotech iDas What's New webinar. So let me just quickly open my Civil 3D here, and then we can get started. So the main purpose of this webinar is just to show you guys all of the new aspects in iDas since the last version, which is version 12.1. So firstly, I'm just going to start off. This is a drawing that I have created. It's just a partial design at this current moment. It is not complete, but it is good to show what the changes are that have taken place in iDas in version 12.2. So as you can see, I have a bunch of catchments, and I have some pipes in here with some inlets, curb inlets, as well as an outfall. Now, the changes that have happened are actually not in on the basic iDas interface that you see over here. So the main change, if I can just I'm just trying to be able to, okay, cool. So is in the pipe manager. So this is where the main changes have taken place, and I'm going to take you guys through all of these changes. As you can see, I'm just waiting for it to load up here. All right. So the first change that has taken place, and most of you should be familiar with this interface by now since version 12.2. This is the new interface that has been introduced in the previous version. And what we're going to go through today is just some of the new things that have been added into this interface. So the first change is actually that when looking at profiles for pipes, the profile usually follows a certain alignment from start until end. And before version 12.2, you could not choose which structures to start and end a specific profile with if you want to only check a specific length of pipe. So if I go and look at my profiles, so as you can see, the first profile that is shown here is curb inlet 1.1 up until the outfall. That is curb inlet 1.1 up until the outfall. Now, if I go and look in plan, that is from down here to all the way up here. Now, what if I want to end this profile a little bit shorter? So you can select any structure, right-click, and you can either set as the profile start structure or the profile end structure. This is a completely new addition to iDas. So I'm going to go and look at, which one was this, 1.8, and I'm going to set it as my end structure. Now, as you can see, what happens is you have curb inlet 1.1 up until manhole 1.8. Okay, and this is fairly useful, especially if you only want to inspect certain lengths of pipe. All right, so then the next change that has taken place is actually on the analysis tab. I'm just going to press escape here. Sorry, the Teams thing is just a little bit in the way of my tabs here. Okay, so on the analysis tab, there's a new function which is called calculate minimum conduit sizes. Now, if I head on over to my conduits, now please note, I do not have all of the rainfall data already input into this file. So there's currently no design data for iDas to calculate the minimum conduit sizes currently. But you now have the option to do this. Let me just run this. It says, see report. Let's see what happens. Okay, so currently, because I do not have any design data in my drawing or in my model, it does not apply the minimum conduit sizes. But if you have all of your design data input, it will choose the correct pipe sizes or correct minimum pipe sizes for you. And you would not have to go and add all of these manually. Okay, so then the next addition to iDas is actually also still on the Conduits tab, that you can now apply minimum pipe sizes once again. So it's a little bit different from the calculate minimum conduit size. It just applies a minimum pipe size by the criteria that you specify. So I clicked on it, and now it brings up this dialog box whereby you can go and, let's say, for example, I want to make all of these pipes 300 millimeters. So I'm just going to deselect all of the rest of these quickly. I could have also said all, but I only want 300 millimeter pipes. So then I can click on OK. OK again. Let's just wait for this to update. Try again. Now let's go for 375. And then, okay. Should update all of these pipes now. Okay, it doesn't look like it took, but that is what you can do with the apply minimum pipe sizes. Okay, every single time that you change, it runs the analysis on it. Now you can also set all of your pipes either one size up or one size down. Let's just go. I'm just going to click on OK there with all of the pipe sizes selected. It's busy processing there. And there you go. All of the pipe sizes have now been moved down by one size. The same counts for this command, which moves all of your pipes one size up. So this should move it now back to what it was before I set them down. Let's just wait for this one. And there you go. All of your pipes have been moved back up by another size. Now, I just did this by selecting all of the pipes. I changed all of them, but you can specify certain pipes that you want to move up or down. Okay, and as you can see, when you click inside here, you would have to either swap the conduit size if you wanted to do it the old way. All right, so this just makes it a little bit easier if you want to just move it up or down by a certain size. Okay, so the next change that I'm going to move over to then is actually on the bill of materials. Now, currently I don't have one here, but let's just quickly run a calculate and it'll populate my bill of materials for my pipes. Now, the new addition that has been put in here is that you can now actually go and select your pipe bedding class. So you have a multitude of different classes that you can apply to it, but you would firstly have to go and populate what kind of bedding classes these actually are. Okay, so you now have control over each and every single pipe's different bedding. Okay. Another change that has also been made to the bill of materials is, and this is not really something that can be shown with the model the way that I have done it. As you can see, I have manholes everywhere where I have a change of direction. This is just the way in which this is set up, seeing that it is a training file. Now, if you do have a pipe with a bend, without a structure on that bend, okay, what's going to happen is that iDas now calculate your bend quantities for you. Another new function that has been added in the bill of materials department over here is that you can now export your bill of materials to a Excel spreadsheet format. Okay. So then that is basically it for the new additions on the bill of materials. The next change that has actually taken place is that when looking in plan view, so currently I only have these gray catchments here. That means that I do not have my site selected yet. So I'm just going to move over to my site on which my pipes have been created. So what's happening here is that Devotech has added new link lines for your catchments. So I have catchment 1 here, and this is the one that I've done so far. I will showcase it on a few of the other catchments as well. But what this line does is it basically draws a visual representation from the centroid of a catchment up to the inlet that has been applied to this catchment. So each catchment has its own inlet, except for number 3 down here. And number 6 does have one, but except for number 3. So to do this, you would need to move over to your catchments. And as you can see for catchment 1, I currently have an inlet structure KI 3.1, and the rest have not been done. So if you want to add this link line, let's see for catchment 2, it's KI 5.1, so curb inlet 5.1. So I'm going to go over to my catchments, catchment number 2, and I'm going to change my inlet structure here to KI 5.1. And when I then move back to my plan view, you will see that you now have your link line to show you exactly which curb inlet is servicing which catchment. Okay, so then another addition to the catchments side of things is that the sub-catchment workflow has actually been streamlined. So when adding sub-catchments, currently I only have individual catchments servicing certain inlets. But if you do have sub-catchments, this workflow has actually been streamlined. So you only need to specify the smaller sub-catchment. The rest of the data will all be populated for you based on the C/CN of the main catchment. That is the curve number of the main catchment. Okay, so that is one very nice addition that has also been made to our catchments workflow. Another addition would be in plan view. You can now display an analytical model for your pipes. So that can be accessed from over here on the side when looking at your plan. So when activating my analytical model, as you can see, you will have this new dialog pop up on the side here, which says analytical for structures and pipes. Now, for structures, you can do different types of analytical models. You can show the rim elevation, you can show the demand at those nodes, you can show the depth of those nodes, the head and the pressure as well. And as you can see, it finds all of these different elevations and it adds specific color codes to them. You can also go and change these colors or define custom colors. Okay, so that is basically what you're seeing at these dots. Now, then when moving over to pipes, seeing that I have not done an analysis on this yet, all of my values are at 0. But for pipes, you can display an analytical model for flow and velocity. You can set the amount of ranges that you want to display and then apply different colors to your different flow or velocity properties. And that is basically what you see here. Now, seeing that all of them are on 0, they're all displaying at the same color currently. So this takes effect once you have run an analysis. Okay. So then what you can also do, this is another addition, so I'm just going to switch off my analytical model, is let's say, for example, you are experiencing some analysis errors in your model. And you think that this might be due to some connectivity issues. Your pipe systems are not connected as well as you would think. Maybe you did not connect a certain pipe to a certain node. Now, what you can do is select one of these nodes or structures, right click, and go to Find Connected Parts. I'm going to click on this. And as you can see, currently, all of my pipes are connected. So this displayed in red means that they are all connected. If there is a break and some of it is not colored, then it means that you just have to go and inspect that certain pipe and make sure that it is connected to your certain structures. Okay. So then what we have is actually some honorable mentions. So this was intended to be more of a top 10 changes that have taken place, but there are some small changes that might actually have effect. So some of the changes that have been made is that iDas now actually includes Civil 3D support from 2016 up until 2022. So that is a very, very nice addition. If you ever experience any problems with your iDas version 12.2 on Civil 3D 2022, then you will be eligible for support. Okay. So another nice change that has also been made in the honorable mentions is that when closing your iDas project manager or pipe manager, and I say update the results to Civil 3D, it says, are you sure you want to cancel? All changes will be lost. If I just say yes, then it still does save these. Okay, so your information is not lost anymore. Okay, so another few small changes that have been made is that our swap pipes and swap structures dialogues on the iDas tab have actually been updated. So you have certain swapping functions that used to be a little problematic, and those have actually all been updated to be more streamlined. The Create House Connection dialog has also been upgraded. The Create House Connection Reference Network dialog has also been updated to work more smoothly. And there have actually been some performance updates. Let me just see. The performance update that I'm speaking about is actually specifically when loading water networks. Some of you might have experienced that you have some performance issues on when you want to open up a water network drawing. Especially in your pipe manager, it might take a little while. So this has actually been streamlined and made better so that it opens your drawings a little bit quicker. Okay, so another improvement is actually that your Civil 3D drawing update time when updating networks from iDas. So that is in the pipe manager. When updating back to Civil 3D, this has also been made a fair amount quicker. Okay, guys. So I believe that I've basically covered all of the changes. As I've said, this is just the changes that have taken place from iDas version 12.1 up until iDas version 12.2, which are mainly just some functionality additions. Okay, guys. So that is basically it. But before we head on over to our question or our Q&A session, I want to show you that you can where you can access some more information on the updates for iDas. So let me just open up this website. Okay, so this is on Devotech website. So if you go to www.devotechgroup.com, you will see that if you hover over product info, you have a iDas What's New topic here. If you go over here, you can see the video that Antonin has created for iDas version 12.1. Okay, this is a bit of a beefy one because it does contain all of the changes from the version 11 up until this point. And then we also have the service pack for iDas version 12.1 and the iDas version 12.2 file if you want to go and inspect some more minute changes. Okay, guys, so that is basically it. I'm going to head on back over to my presentation. So do we have any questions? You can direct your questions in the question box. I'll give you guys a minute to do. Okay, guys, I do not see that we have any questions. Okay, so sorry about that, Lunga. I do see that you are experiencing network problems. This video will be uploaded to YouTube if you do want to review it afterwards. It will be uploaded in about a day or two. Okay, guys, but I do not see any other questions. And I think we can, on sewer design. Currently, I do not believe, I did go through the patch notes, but I do not believe that there are, let me just see Q&A box. Okay, I see there's a question from Jacques here. Are there any changes to sewer design? The changes that I've actually gone over are the majority of the major changes, and it mostly pertains just to performance and I believe it's just mainly on the house connections. All of those workflows have been streamlined to actually work a bit quicker and easier. I would like to know if iDas does generate stormwater pipes excavation volumes. Okay, let me just quickly go over here. Where's my Civil 3D? Okay, so if you go over to your bill of materials and you run the calculation, it actually does calculate the excavation volume, but you do need to specify some certain parameters. As you can see, its total excavation for pipe 4.1 is 52.466. So yes, it does generate those excavation volumes for you. Okay. What is the cost? Okay, I see Salome has answered that one, but you can speak to Salome. She is our sales representative for iDas. She will be able to answer those questions when it comes to cost. I'd like to know if iDas does generate stormwater pipes excavation volumes in depth intervals. It should be able to. Yes, it does. Here's yours. Here you go. So if you go and look also on your bill of materials, you have from 0 to 1 meter excavation and from 1 meter to 2 meter excavation and from 2 meters to 3 meters and 3 meters to 4 meters. So based on the depth of your pipe, it does actually calculate those excavation quantities for you. The upgrade from to iDas version 12.2 is actually not automatic. It is a separate installation and it does require a separate license file. Okay, I see there's another question for 12.2. If the update happens automatically, no, it does not. You would need to request a separate license file and a separate installation link. Are there any extra platform imports that can be performed? I'm not sure what you mean by platform imports. Do you mean from different software into iDas? Okay, so as far as I know, it's still the same. Let me just go over here. I believe that the imports from other software, you should be able to import, seeing that iDas is built in with the EPASwim engine. It should be compatible with those models. I do know that you can export from iDas to, let's say, storm and sanitary analysis. So if I go to plan, let me just go and look for it quickly. Import, export. As you can see, you can do your inflows from CSV files, your results from storm and sanitary analysis, your results from EPASwim, and you can also export your network to SSA. These are currently the only imports and exports possible with iDas. Yes, as far as I believe, I see there's a question. Do I have to uninstall 12.1 before installing the new 12.2? Yes, I do not believe that you can run the two different versions on the same machine, as it will find that the installations will conflict with each other. So it would be better to, let's say, for example, have 12.2 installed on your 2022 Civil 3D. So yes, you will need to uninstall the one before installing the new one. No problems. It's a great add-on, but in 2018 we requested a quote and iDas was too expensive to Civil 3D itself. Yes, you can, as I said, you can discuss the costing with our sales representative, Salome, and she will be able to answer all of your questions.
Hi, Andrew. Just to answer the questions regarding the Autodesk licensing, there are a few options. There are rental licenses for annual license or 3 months, and then you also get your perpetual licenses. So if you can contact me, I will gladly assist you with the different options and just explain it how it works.
Thank you for that, Salome. I see there's another question. Will the old designs run smoothly if I move to version 12.2? Yes, they definitely will. It's just very important to note that these versions are not backwards compatible. So if you update that design to 12.2, then you will not be able to access those designs or work on those designs in previous versions again. So you would have to only work on 12.2 and then newer versions when they release. Okay, so I see, I will definitely reach out to you, Sakumzi. We will be in contact with you regarding to the license options which are available currently. Okay, guys, so if there are no other questions, then I think we can end the webinar. Thank you so much for attending, guys. Salome said earlier, you will be able to access these webinar recordings on our YouTube channel. Salome did paste the link in the chat box, so you're more than welcome to copy it from there. Okay, guys. So thank you for joining the iDas What's New webinar, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Cheers.